Hi YouTube, how you doing? It is April 29th, 2012, and I am on day 44, post VSG surgery, and I wanted to give you an update. I seem to find that my videos are delaying a little further and further each time, so I might actually get to the point where I do a 2-week update instead of a 1-week update in the near future. But I wanted to give you a rundown this week. Actually was a unique week and a difficult week. I was out of town all week. At a client's house where they actually had a private chef, and so I unfortunately ate all week and ate literally 3 meals a day every single day. This is not typical. Prior to that point, I was probably doing 1 meal, maybe 2 a day, and I don't think it was all that bad of a deal, eating 3 meals a day. The chef was very accommodating to my diet needs, so I was trying to cut carbs and make sure that I was doing healthy items, but it was very good food, let me tell you. And he is kind of a 4-course meal type of a chef, so we found that I was eating a soup, a salad, an appetizer, and an entree every single night, although it was fortunately just a couple bites of each. But definitely found myself at a point where I was, it felt like I had overeaten a couple of times just because of the speed of eating it all and not really being able to pay attention to it. At one point, in fact, I even had to excuse myself to the bathroom, and I was dry heaving in the bathroom, almost threw up, very close. But learn from me on that, that you should not be overeating for sure. Even at that, I did lose some weight this week. I didn't exercise because I simply didn't have the time with the hours we were working, but I did go down to, this morning I weighed in, for example, at 267. Now that's about 6 pounds, I think, from last week, or somewhere in that range, which is a lot lower than what I had been losing in the past, but it's still weight loss, so I'm happy with that. In the beginning, I started off again around 332, so that puts me at about 65 pounds, give or take, of loss since the beginning, which is good at this point. Definitely excited to be in the 260s, looking forward to definitely hitting 250 and below. But that's where I stand right now. And then as far as additional updates for the week, there's a couple things I noticed. Since I've been home and I've been eating a little bit here and there, I've noticed that, one, I seem to have, I guess it's when I eat too much, but I seem to be having this scenario where I burp up, like almost to throw up, but I burp up sort of a saliva, but it's completely clear. I've never thrown up yet, but I have burped this saliva up that was just extremely thick mucus that was completely clear. And it seems to be happening after any meal that I might be eating a little too fast, or that kind of a thing. But it's a good amount of it, surprisingly. Like the last time I had it happen, I burped up 2 or 3 times a full mouthful of saliva. And obviously, gross conversation. Sorry about that, but it's the facts of the situation. So it was a little weird, but wasn't any food, and the food stayed down, and it seemed to be fine. If I eat moderate, then I don't have that problem. So obviously the lesson learned is to eat moderate. So that's some food for thought, no pun intended. And the other update that I had, I think, this week, well, actually 2 more things. One, I did get a chance to go and buy a little bit of clothes last week before I left for my trip, and that was about a week ago. Last Sunday is when I left, so I went out on Saturday night and picked up some jeans, because I found that my jeans were falling off. So I actually went from my normal size of 44 down to a 38, and even the 38 after this last week feels a little loose at this point. I got a new belt, got new jeans. I found that I didn't change my shirts yet, so my shirts tend to be floating a bit on me, but I'm going to wait, because I obviously don't want to have to continue to buy clothes over and over again if I can avoid it, so I'm going to try to milk it as long as I can. But definitely exciting to go down to a 38 and see the recognizable results. And then the other update from this week is, after the process of looking back at my past couple of weeks, my wife pointed out that I tend to be a little bit more edgy and maybe a little bit more short-tempered than I had been in the past. And I started to ponder on that and look back at the conversations I may have had or the things I may have done, and I realized that I absolutely was. There's no question that there's a couple of times that I either was short-tempered or got a little bit more angry than I should have gotten on circumstances. And so I've obviously been going back and trying to make amends for that, but I started doing a little bit of research and understanding what is happening. And just a quick little look up yesterday and trying to understand, I did find that there's a lot of other people that have experienced this as well. And from what I've read, now I don't know how true this is, but from what I've read, it said that your hormones are stored in your fat cells, and once the fat cells start burning off, the hormones are released, and it tends to cause this. Again, I don't know how true that is, so I need to do more research, but it's a thought. So those of you who are going through it, if you're experiencing that, just know that that is something that you're going to need to pay attention to. It's something that now that I'm aware of, I'm certainly going to try to pay real close attention to. Other than that, I think that's it. My week went well. Again, I probably will give another update in another 2 weeks, and we'll go from there. But progress is still happening, and I'm happy where I'm standing. So thanks so much. Bye-bye.